Day 1. Today was a special day. I just turned 24 years old, so I had dinner with my friends, then went off to work. After going to work, I stopped by a place called the Magic Box. I bought a strange empty chest with scribbles of some ancient letters on it. I really like the way it looks. It has a photo of a pair of eyes and it gives you the sense that someone is watching you. I don't know why I was drawn to it. It was just something unique about it that made me feel as though I should buy it. Day 2. I decided to put the chest at the end of my bed. I think it looks pretty there. Even though the box is empty, it was still really heavy to push around. Had another sleep paralysis episode last night. Hate those things. Lasted about a minute, then I went to take a shower. I thought I saw a strange shadow when showering outside of the shower curtain. Freaked me out a little bit. Aside from that, pretty boring day. The usual happened at work and spent the time home playing with my dog. Day 3. Last night, during the darkest time of the night, I was awakened by a night terror. Right after waking up, I heard a very sinister voice from the foot of my bed telling me, "Come a little closer, don't be afraid." I got out of bed trembling and walking towards the chest, and it started bumping very hard, as if something was in it and trying to get out. Then I turned on the light and everything became calm. I must have imagined it. I was too scared to go to sleep, so I decided to get up and watch TV until it was time to head off to work. Day 4. The voices are getting worse. I am considering visiting a psychiatrist. They kept tempting me, telling me to come closer, to open the box. I feel like I am going insane. I hardly got any sleep that night. After work, I decided to sell the box at a pawn shop. It wasn't worth the sleepless nights. It was probably just my head going crazy, but I did not want to take any chances. Day 5. After a long day's work, I felt so relieved, didn't hear any voices, have any sleep paralysis, and I just had a really fantastic day. I passed by the Magic Box on the way home. That place really gives me the creeps now. After having dinner with one of my friends, I went home to go to bed, and I couldn't believe it. The box was sitting at the foot of my bed again, and the eyes on the box seemed to be staring right at me. I started to walk out of the bedroom and the door slammed shut. Then the whispers started again. Come a little closer, you want to know what's inside." I was scared to death, but I had to know, so I grabbed my steel baseball bat and I trembled to the chest, opening it with one hand and had my other hand ready to hit what was inside of it. As I opened the chest, it made a creaking noise, because it was made out of wood. The chest seemed to be filled with pure darkness. It was just a black layer of chrome wavy liquid inside. It filled the chest. I decided to slam it shut and take it to a testing lab later to find out what the liquid was made out of. Day 6. When I woke up that morning, the box was empty again, as it was to begin with. Did I just imagine the chrome wavy liquid inside? I am getting really freaked out by this dumb thing. I just want it to go away. I dragged it outside and broke it to pieces with a sledgehammer. It was very sturdy, but I managed to knock it to pieces. Put the broken pieces into the trash can. Hopefully it will leave me alone now. Day 7. I had another sleep paralysis and had an illusion of someone screaming for help. When I finally snapped out of the sleep paralysis, I was really freaking out, and I ran to the bathroom to wash my face off and tried to find some relief. As I walked back into the bedroom, I saw the chest that I just broke into pieces last night. I thought to myself, how could this be? Then the lid started bouncing, as if something was pushing it, trying to get out, and I heard a child screaming for help from inside. I knew I had to do something, so I ran to the chest and flung it open as hard as I could. A black hand then reached out and pulled me into another dimension. There I saw a child, holding his hand out and saying, "Please help me, please take me home." I reached and grabbed his hand, telling him not to worry. Then his eyes turned red and he said, "Oh, I'm not the one that should be worried." I then jerked my hand back as hard as I could and his arm fell off. I was terrified and I took off running and screaming. Then I awakened in my bed. I thought to myself, was it all a dream? What's happening to me? Am I going crazy? I looked at the foot of my bed and the chest was sitting there fully intact without a scratch on it. I trembled with fear and ran to my car to make it to work on time. Day 8. When driving to work, my car exploded on the highway when I was stuck in traffic. I flew out of the windshield and my body bounced up against the hood of the car in front of me. I looked behind me and what looked like a clown with tentacles and sharp teeth climbed over the cars, each menacing step making a honk noise which was extremely intimidating. Fear had gripped me and I ran across the roofs of the cars, hopping from car to car, but I heard the clown coming closer and closer, the honking noises approaching me fast. I was running out of breath and the terrible beast had caught up to me. He pinned me to the ground and wrapped his giant clown mouth over my head, trying to swallow me whole. It smelled like tuna fish. My body slipped down his throat with ease. Once inside his stomach, I fell into a dark abyss. There was the child I saw from last night. He was smiling menacingly. He walked up to me and screamed into my ears, "Never buy antiques again, foolish human," and slapped me in the face. I'm not sure where I am now, but it's very dark. I've made it to a wall, seems to be made out of wood of some sort. I'm writing this final entry on the wall, but it is so dark I cannot tell that I am writing everything correctly. I hope I can get out of here.